Hello all. Let's hear Intel's interview experience from Upendra. Upendra is doing his masters in microelectronics from BITS Milan.
Hi, my name is Upendra Yadav. I have been shortlisted for Associate Design Engineer profile in Intel. Intel usually comes for the placement season during the early placement season, but this time Intel visited our campus a bit late. The basic procedures for recruiting students for design engineer profile uh, in Intel are first usually that they first shortlist the students based on their resume. You must have at least 70 percentage in all of your academics, starting from class 12 to your bachelor's, then to your master's. They basically shortlist based on that. Based on that, there is no further written exam for that. Basically, I got a call from HR early in the morning regarding what are the facilities that I have to conduct for an interview to be conducted. They gave me both the options for telephonic round as well as through Skype Meet. I was comfortable with both of them. Eventually, they sent me a eventually they sent me a Skype Meet link uh, using which I connected to the interviewer for my interview. Interview basically started with a brief introduction about myself. I told him about my background and what are the. He also asked me about the project. What are the basic projects that I did here? Then after that project section, he was more interested in Verilog section in the projects that I did on Verilog. So basically, my whole interview was conducted on Verilog. There were around 6 to 7 questions asked regarding Verilog. The first question that he asked was, what are the basic difference between the two data types, wire and reg? I told him the basic difference and how they differ in terms of assignment policies. Then he asked me about the different kinds of assignment policies. Then I told him about continuous assignments and procedural assignments, how they are how they are used in behavioral model or for continuous assignment using wire. His another question was, is it necessary that a reg type variable will always generate a storage element? The answer to it was obviously no, because for some combinational circuits, it does not. If all the conditions corresponding to a case are specified, then it does not generate a storage value. He was pretty much satisfied with that statement. Then he basically moved on to question regarding blocking and non-blocking assignment. I briefly told him about what is the basic difference between a blocking and a non-blocking assignment. He was pretty much convinced, but he wanted me to explain more about that. So then he asked me, "Can you give me an example showing the use of non-blocking assignment where a blocking assignment cannot be used?" So then I explained him this example using a shift register example, in which we can use a non-blocking assignment and the cases in which blocking assignment would fail. I also mentioned to him the specific case using which we can use a blocking assignment for shift register. He was pretty much convinced about that. This explanation went on for approximately 7 to 8 minutes. I explained him in quite a detail. He was convinced with my answer. Then coming on to the next part, he was actually prepared with a question. Uh, he he wanted to check my knowledge on the blocking assignment and delays corresponding to it. He gave me the values of a variable b at various time instances. For example, at initially b is equal to something, then after three time unit, it is the value in b is this. After five time unit, the value in b is something other. So he gave me such 6 values of b. Then he asked me a question regarding, uh, he wanted to check my concept on whether I know the use of delay, whether I know the use of delay in a blocking assignment statement. He asked me, using these values of b, can you tell me what will these two statements display? The first statement was hash 5 a equal to b, and the other statement was a equal to hash 5b. So they basically differ in at what time the value of b is assigned to a and after what delay. This is pretty much obvious. Anyone who has gone through Verilog through Parlecker and other materials, reference materials, pretty much knows it. So then he moved on to then he moved on to my basic project, and he asked me, which profile are you more comfortable with? Is it front end or back end? Since I had done my projects on RISC-V processor, I told him obviously I am much more comfortable with front end design as of present, but I am comfortable with other stuff as well since I am learning these back end courses as well. He then basically asked me what is the basic difference between front end design and back end design. I told him briefly in 1 or 2 minutes regarding that. He then asked me, "Can you please elaborate these two? Means how do we go about front end design and back end design?" I explained him the various steps that are included in these two kinds of design. He was pretty much convinced about that. Then finally, he basically asked me some personal stuff regarding whether I am comfortable with working at Bangalore or not. Uh, and he asked me about he also asked me about the courses that I had taken for my interview preparation. I basically referred to my class lectures for the course of VLSI design. Most of the basics that generally interviewers ask are based on static CMOS circuits. They don't go into much detail. Uh, at max, they can go up to logical efforts and timing approaches in VLSI design. So that was pretty much covered using class lectures. A few of the subjects that I took for devices were advanced VLSI devices, physical modeling of microelectronic devices, and IC fabrication. These three subjects were more or less sufficient to handle any question regarding device. For example, threshold voltage related concepts, what happens to channel in different cases, latch up problems in CMOS. All such topics were basically covered in these subjects. For then coming on to Verilog part, which I prepared for interview, I basically referred the book Samir Parnetkar. I read it twice, once during my course in second semester, and next time, the next time when I read it, I got more clarity on concepts regarding those assignment policies and behavioral design concepts. For coming on to physical design, VLSI physical design, I basically referred to IIT Kharagpur lectures present on NPTEL. They were basically, they gave me a deep clarity regarding what is front end, what is back end, and how do we go about various procedures, various steps in back end design. So that was pretty much about that physical design concept. Coming on to architecture design, that basically I had a course on VLSI architecture. Moreover, I had two of my projects. Uh, One was regular class project and one was detailed research project on architecture. So I was pretty much well comfortable with those concepts. Uh, I was I was pretty much comfortable in that domain. And one more thing for basics of C. Intel actually didn't ask anything regarding C, but I did prepare it for other interviews as well. So for C, I basically referred to YouTube videos.